great fun working with Harry. I think his energy and he is very hardworking, of course, and very passionate when it comes to the film. He's a first-time film producer, and he's written the story. So he's obviously got a lot invested in it, emotionally as well as financially, and that rubs off. I think his energy is very infectious, and even now when we're promoting the film, we tend to get a little, because I've done this for a few years now, so one can get a little cynical about promotions, but I like the fact that he is passionate, and that fuels your energy as well. And even when we were making the film, he's faced lots of problems. Firstly, it's very risky to take on a subject like this that is not mainstream, that doesn't lend itself to easy marketing, where you have to be careful, where you're not even sure if the film is going to be released because of the nature of the subject. Forget about how you make it popular. So, I commend him for taking this on and now seeing it through, because one thing is making it, another thing is having it released and spreading word about it. So he's really backed the film to the hilt and fought many battles, whether it was with the set being destroyed or whether it was with the censor board. He's really fought all those battles for the film. So I'm very happy for him now that most of those obstacles seem to be behind us, and now we're releasing on the 7th of October, and I really, really want this film to do well, mainly for him. He was very valuable to both the characterization of Tejinder Kaur, Devinder, the children, in terms of what Delhi would have looked like in the 80s. He did a lot of research, he met a lot of people. He anyway knows people, as you said, he is of the same community, so he's met many people who have been affected by 84, who have been either direct victims, who know people, who have a story to tell. So he's familiar with those stories, and he has his own stories. So all of that was very valuable to the film. And I think that when you, again, it's difficult because you have to draw a line. You don't want to bring too much of your own self into the film, because then it gets burdened by your emotional baggage and it can go off course. So I think that he very carefully drew a line and brought to the film a lot of his own experiences, helped me to flesh out my character. My character is also based on a real life person. So in terms of giving me information about who that person was, where they worked, what kind of personality she had, the issues that she was dealing with, how she looked, how she dressed, all of that was very important and helped me to then imagine, what Tejinder would feel in certain situations. Working with Veer was great fun. We've of course known each other from before the film, because he was working on Go Go Gone, and I would visit the set, and we became friends. But I think I really got to know him obviously on this film, because we spent an intense few weeks together in Ludhiana shooting this film. And it's really, I think he's done a fantastic job on this film. It's very different for him. I've done intense roles before, but he hasn't really done drama. He's done comedy, and people know him, from Delhi Belly and the stand-up comedy that he does. So this is a departure for him, and he's done it very well. So I'm excited for people to see him in this sort of avatar, which they haven't seen him before. In terms of working with him, he's very professional. He thinks about his work. He takes it very seriously. He is an intelligent actor, and he's committed. He works very hard. He's worked really hard on this role. Not just the look, but he also worked very hard on the accent, on getting that right. So I have a good feeling about him. I think that this film will bring him some very good reviews. It wasn't tough because, as I said, he was so committed to the role. And that, it's nice actually, because you want to be with someone who will lighten the mood once you call cut, but who, between action and cut, will be very much committed to it. Because I've worked with people who are funny and who can be very distracting in the middle of shots. Case in point, like Cyrus Brocha in 99 would drive us nuts because he has severe ADD and would never remember his lines. We would all forget our own lines. So Veer is not like that. Cyrus is lovely, I love him. But you have to be really centered to, work with him. And I don't think we could have ever done. I can't imagine him in a serious film anyway. But with Veer, he, between action and cut, is fully focused. And then once cut is called, then you want someone who will help you lighten the mood, because otherwise it's a really heavy experience to be in that sort of frame of mind constantly. But like I said, I think once the camera was off, it's difficult to be funny because, you know, you're constantly living that one day for, you know, the 30-40 days that we were shooting. So really when you have the time, you want to just chill. You don't want to be funny, you want to just relax. But he definitely lightened the mood. It was always nice to have him around. It's nice to work with people who you get on with. Even when you have companionable silences, those are things that I enjoy. You know, so, and he's easy to talk to, he's very intelligent, he has an opinion on everything. So we got on very well on the set. I had not heard about him before, but when they told me he'd won a national award for his film Dhag, I made sure to see the film, which I liked very much. And immediately when you meet him, you get a sense that you're in good hands. You're with someone who will look after you, who has a sensitivity when it comes to cinema, who works well with women, because his films are also, they have strong roles for women. So I think that he does that well. And he's fast, he's very, very fast. He has a good team also. Ramni, who was our DOP, has worked with Shivaji sir before, and they work very well together. So, you know, I think all of that he brought to the film. And I felt like he was very confident, even though this was his first sort of Hindi feature film. He didn't treat it any differently, and he was very confident in his approach. And that gives you a sense of assurance.